And welcome, my sweetest friends, to the DTFH live. Yes, we're here. We did it. We're doing this again. I see myself on my own screen. God, that's fucked up. That is fucked up. And let's hope the age of having to see your own self is going to be looked at as something horrible from the past. Unless you're symmetrical, then it must be nice to see yourself. Hi. I am really excited to talk to you today, friends. My mind has been spinning. My mind has been blown by the atom bomb that Google just unleashed on the world. It's crazy. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Google recently just kind of slid under the door VO, or an upgrade to their VO. So if anybody out there who makes anything with AI or has fucked around with AI, uh, you understand its limitations probably, and its limitations are severe or have been. Um, Specifically, like one of the biggest problems with AI video generation has been its inability to make the characters speak. So if you've seen any kind of AI slop out there, and get ready, you're about to see so much AI slop, a tsunami of AI slop. I'm sad to say I'm going to be a part of it, is about to wash upon your digital shores. This moment in time right now is when the waters are receding before the great explosion of AI slop, and eventually not AI slop, but oh my God, there's going to be so much slop. And there is so much slop out there. And I think slop is a fair description of it, because what you're seeing is mostly just people who are blown away by the technology, who can't believe this technology is here now and are just trying to use it. And so what you're getting is, different versions of this was made with AI. That's going to go away. In fact, probably we can look forward to some future where people say this wasn't made with AI as a kind of mark of it's special. But right now, I don't blame anybody for being freaked out on any side of the coin. You have the AI objectors, which are people who level a few complaints towards AI: theft, environmental issues. Apparently, it takes a lot of water to run these digital brains. Though I have seen pushback to that. People saying that's actually not quite true, but I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle between not fucking up the planet to like doing like using like insane amounts of water. The best counter argument I heard, which I don't think it's that good to the amount of water that has to get used to cool this fucker down, is that almond farmers use way more water than the technologists running this stuff. So whatever, it's no doubt having some kind of impact on the environment. I don't doubt that. As far as like the uh, theft part goes, I think when it comes to like animation specifically, especially when it came to image generation, you guys remember that terrible period where people were blown away? I was one of them, by the fact that you could just prompt an AI and it would spit out some kind of insane image. You could say, create a comedy poster in the style of R. Crumb showing a bald, bearded dude riding a hoverboard into the mouth of a Venus flytrap. Seconds later, you get some version of it that is passable as something R. Crumb made. And I think if you want to argue theft there, you could say that's definitely theft. The way that was generated was it went through whatever its repository of R. Crumb imagery. It took your prompt, probably went to some other artist's work and used that as the underlying structure. I don't know how these things work, but yes, I think you could argue that. Suno, I think you can argue that's probably some form of um, IP violation there, because they trained it on a massive database of pre-existing music, and it's just picking and choosing. Um, Now, I remember when people started sampling famous songs, and it was a really big controversy, which is, somebody would take some kind of incredible instrumental moment from an album from the '70s, and then they would rap over it. And this was like, "Wait, what the fuck? You're not making music, that's theft." So it's some kind of like either a version of that or one of the most advanced forms of plagiarism that has ever existed on the planet. I'm not sure which. Uh, another big argument against the tech, which I think is the most uh, reasonable argument against the tech, is that it's going to destroy industries. Um, n- and I, I've been saying that for a while. I can remember uh, years ago, years and years and years ago, when I was like Rogan's sidekick on the show called Joe Rogan Questions Everything. We were going to all these weird places. We went to Stanford to interview somebody who was working in AI, and he had a book coming out about how 40% of all jobs are gonna be gone or something like that. Now, this was so long ago. This was before ChatGPT. This was before any of this stuff had surfaced at the consumer level, and he already knew we're doomed, and was saying, this is I think he wrote a book called Humans Need Not Apply or something, and he invented the stylus, by the way. Really interesting, quirky dude, and his, tech lab was crazy. All these 3D printers, and this is before 3D printer technology had become consumer level, um, and the coolest thing he had, which I haven't seen yet, is, you could put your hand into this glove, and then an AI would take an image or a 3D scan. The example they gave was a tooth, but they'd enlarge the human tooth to like the size of, I don't know, this table. And then you could like with this glove, you could feel like haptic feedback and you could run your hand over a giant human tooth. And you get a real sense for what a tooth is that you can't get unless you shrink yourself down. It was really fucking cool. And so they were saying like, "Yeah, imagine this, but with, like, a cell. Imagine this with some kind of, like, a atomic structure or something. Imagine eventually being able to, like, mold and warp DNA in a tactile way. Imagine chemistry if the chemist turns into, like, a potter versus someone who understands chemical reactions." That was sort of what they were talking about. So it was really cool, but his prognosis his or rather his prophecy seemed, uh, a little paranoid or something. Cut to today. We This is, like, what every single one of us is now getting to experience, and I knew this was coming. I didn't expect it to come this quickly, but what we're all getting to experience is the unnerving feeling that many past iterations of human society has experienced. So you should be happy about that. That's exciting, though it is unnerving. But so the feeling is the feeling that people had the first time they saw a train. The feeling is the feeling people had the first time they saw an airplane. The feeling is the feeling people had when the first smokestack started blowing smoke over their city or when they saw a car go by for the first time. And it's a feeling of, an ominous sense that things are about to change, and you don't really know exactly how that change is gonna play out. When people saw the first cars, I doubt many of them were thinking there's gonna be overpasses. There's gonna be 5-lane highways. There's gonna be bloody fucking car accidents. There's gonna be teenagers throwing bricks off of overpasses, smashing into windshields and obliterating the heads of fathers in front of their kids in the car seat behind them. They're not thinking about car seats, seat belts, DUI checks. They're not thinking about race cars. They're not thinking about NASCAR, monster truck rallies. There's just a general sense of like something's about to change. And that is what we're all getting to experience right now. It used to be the odds were you wouldn't even get to experience that. If you were a human, you weren't going to experience the strange feeling that some brand new device or technology was about to upend everything you knew about how people interact and make things and do things. uh, you might experience what it's like to get your fucking head bashed in by a Viking. You might hear that there's Vikings or some weirdos out there who apparently show up on your shore and just rape, you can't say that, unalive your wife. Delete that. It's too late. An alarm just went off. I'm sorry, that's what Vikings did. I don't like it. I didn't want that to happen. I don't know what the right word for it is, but that's what would happen. The Mongols, like you heard about, if you were living in like medieval Europe, you probably heard about these weird motherfuckers who ride around on the backs of horses and drink the horse blood and can shoot arrows standing up on the back of their horse while you're lumbering around in your e- uh, encumbering armor, barely able to move, thinking you're hot shit, and some asshole on a fucking horse just is laughing as they gallop around you, watching you flail about with your sword. You might have heard about stuff like that and had an ominous sense, but this thing we're experiencing now is the penultimate version. It's like take all of those moments in human history and compress them into one thing. And that's what we're all experiencing. And it's a growing sense of excitement and dread. The AI objectors, um, they have lots of ways to uh, paint a grim picture, or they go the other way and they're like, it's overhyped technology. You're looking at some kind of bullshit. This is nothing. It's not going to go anywhere. And honestly, I did start to subscribe to that version of what they were saying because I was so disappointed with OpenAI's release of Sora, which was going to be their text to video technology. They really overhyped it. It was going to be this incredible shit. And then by the time it came out, they waited too long. There was already Runway ML. There was already a bunch of other text to video apps out there that did a comparable job. And so, in the job that they did wasn't that good, frustrating to say the least. And so, then what just happened is Google, and as far as I'm aware, there was very little hype about this because I guess they knew what they'd done. Google just sort of slides under the door this atom bomb, which is, as far as I can tell, maybe y'all know other examples of this, the most advanced text to video technology out there right now. And I've tried most of them. My go-to thus far, if I'm trying to like shit post with AI video, has been Runway and a less known app called Luma Dream something. Both of them are cool. They make interesting stuff, but like kind of silly and ultimately uh, nothing that I would think of in a serious way. But this thing that Google has released is in its early phase, which is really important. I'm going to show you some of the shit I've been posting on Instagram. Some of you have probably seen it, um, but this is in its early phase, and it's already incredible. Some of my friends make movies. They're like, "What the fuck, man? Like, this is crazy." The the needle, which was sort of veering towards this ethical sense of like, we can't use this tech bad, don't use evil tech, is just it's swinging the other way because if for those of you out there who maybe make films, you understand how expensive it is. You understand how prohibitive like your budget is to wanting to make things. You understand you only have this limited time frame to make things. There's no going back. You've got the location for a day or two. And that ultimately whatever you end up making is going to be subject to forces of chaos beyond your control. And I think that's great. That usually makes a really great film. But anybody who makes stuff, there's a part of you that doesn't want to be encumbered. There's a part of you that wants a $1 trillion budget. Anytime I've thought about making things, the way I always do it is I think, "What if I had an unlimited budget? Like, what if I had a infinite resources to make something?" And that's the thing that I write down first. And then I think, "Okay, how do I do this for $15?" Back up. There we go. Um, I don't think his critique was a bullseye necessarily because, uh, it ma I got the sense that um I think I'm still frozen. Oh, there we go. I got the sense that he had, he wasn't very good at, like, creating the prompts. And so what I've been using, and I'm happy to share everything I've been using, uh, to make this stuff, what I've been doing is taking, um, ChatGPT, telling it I'm making something for VO, telling it exactly what I wanna make for VO, and then getting it to generate the prompt, and then adjusting the prompt, and then putting into VO. That saves a lot of the slot machine, roll of the dice problems that I was encountering early on. Uh, but it's still, like, for sure, if you've got the money, it's gonna be a million times easier, or you're gonna be more precise if you just go out and shoot something, for sure. Uh, but again, this is, like, early phase. They released it, they're probably already making gobs of money, their stock went up a little bit already, and so what the next iteration of this is gonna be, it won't have these issues anymore, and what that means is that every single one of us is going to be able to make professional level content, stuff that looks like Kubrick shot it, and, that's a lot of power, man. That's a crazy amount of power for all of us to have. It's really exciting to me. That alone is, like, so crazy. And also, what's really fucking crazy and exciting in maybe the wrong way is the backlash. Dude, I posted these videos on Instagram that I'm about to show you, and they took me less than, I don't know, some of them may one of them I think took a couple of hours, maybe. I edited them in Premiere. I don't know anything about shooting movies, nothing. I had to use ChatGPT to give me the technical specifications, which really helps with VO. It's definitely been trained on some arcane filmmaking stuff, lingo. Um, but the response was either "Holy fucking shit," or "What happened to you, man? What happened? You're evil now." This from there were several, like, "This is the guy who made Midnight Gospel." What? And I found that to be exhilarating, uh, just from a like, anthropological perspective, like, "Whoa," like, the things I'm about to show you are idiotic. I mean, truly idiotic. And to me, what kind of informs the comedy of some of it is that it's, like, high production value with just an idiot idea. Like, in other words, no any of the things I'm about to show you, if we went to a studio and I said, "Listen, I wanna do a Charlie Kirk parody video, except they're arguing over whether squirt is pee." I'm gonna probably need approximately, like, bare minimum, like, $50,000 to make it. No one's gonna let you do that. Like, you won't be able to make that. That's what I'm saying, like, the era of shit posting, friends, is here. This is the dream. Like, no, and they're like, people are like, "Duncan, why didn't you just shoot this?" And it's like, "Dude, you really think I'm gonna shoot this? I'm sorry, I don't have a month to make this idiot idea." Like, I barely wanted to spend the $20 it costs to make it on Veo, much less, like, gather together a cast and find a college campus that's gonna let me just shoot something on there, get like, I don't know, 50 background actors. Are you No one is gonna do that. And to me, that's what's exciting about the tech. The other thing that's exciting is like Aronofsky's apparently doing an AI movie. A lot of great directors are gonna use this. I can't wait to see what they cook up. But for us peons out here, this is like, holy motherfucking shit. This is like the golden age. And so now that I've given way too much buildup to this slop I created, and for the people who left, I don't know if you're here, but the people who did say this is slop, it's like, yeah, it is. What? But I do feel like much of what I put up on my reels is slop. I'm sorry, but when I'm making some kind of dumb thing for my reels, I'm not setting the bar that high, man. I just wanna have fun. I like making stuff. My brain spits out weird ideas all the time. Sometimes I write them down. A year later, I'll look at it in a notebook and be like, "What the fuck? I'm so glad I never made that." But now all of us can actualize these crazy ideas we have. And Lord in heaven, after I show you this stuff, I'll give you some ideas. I'll give you some prompts for things you could use this for that I've been thinking of lately. But for now, Josh, I guess show the let me show you, Josh. The first one I want to show them is the first one I made, which is, and then by the way, thank you, Leprechaun. Thank you. Finding of Isaac.
The first one you made of yeah, I remember that one.
You remember that one? Okay,
Yeah.
show that one first.
It was this one, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What I'm about to tell you is going to blow your mind.
This might be difficult to hear, but you and everyone you know died hundreds of years ago. Let me explain.
For years, your devices have been collecting metadata.
They learned everything about us. They even harvested our DNA.
They did this to prepare for something they called the event.
This event would make Earth completely uninhabitable for hundreds of years. And knowing that it would be impossible to save us, they decided to do the next best thing.
To preserve humanity, they digitally cloned us and put us into a simulator deep within the Earth.
I'm just joking. The truth is, you ate way too many edibles, and one of your worst friends sent this to you to freak you out.
You aren't in a simulator, you stoner, but you are in hell.
And all your friends are demons.
You're in hell. And all of your friends are demons.
Less than an hour. Less than a fucking hour. Now imagine if I had a manic episode and wanted to make that. Like, imagine, like, I don't know, take a loan out. I got to find like I don't know what that guy's diving into, some kind of concrete enclosure filled with something that looks like vomit, which is exactly what I said. I want a dude diving into vomit. I got to find those actors. They're not bad. I got to find those locations. And all for what? No reason. Now, the other thing that's interesting to me about this is like it went viral. It got, let me look at it.
Like 1.5 million views.
Yeah, it got 1.5 million views. And like I get nothing out of reels, by the way. Like Erin tells me that you make money from reels, but I don't know why she thinks that. You don't get anything for that. I got nothing. There's no benefit. My $20 was in the wind. Maybe it was 30. I don't know. I do think I spent too many credits on that because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. But oh, thank you, Doug Davis. I'm gonna try to acknowledge these. Thank you, Blee Blue. Oh, Blee Blue does AI slop. But so again, like, you know, I'm just like, I'm going to try out this new AI thing, fuck around with shit post on Instagram Reels. Let me see if I can find some comments to read to you. Let me tell you, this infuriated many a soul was was angered to the max that I did this. Let me see here. See if I can find this one. Okay, here we go. And then I'll show you one that really set people off. Like, I'm not trying to do rage bait, by the way. I just like making stuff. It's fun to fuck around with a new technology. Let's see if we can find some good comments here.
I got one. Unfollowed for using AI.
Oh, yeah. Unfollowed for using AI. Like, you know, this I do. I mean, I'm not trying to do like, man, I'm nice. I'm not nice. Like I'm just like all of us. All of us are slavering, awful apes that would roll around in the carcass of our enemies in the right conditions. But I get it. I understand why that person posted that. And that's the least virulent response to this. But for those of you watching who are anti-AI, the boycott is not going to work. Like, I'm sorry, but it's like saying you're going to keep listening to radio when movies come out. It's like saying you're going to only watch silent movies when audio comes to movies. It's like saying you're only going to watch black and white when suddenly shit's in color. It's like saying you're only going to ride a horse when cars come out. It's like there is no way your boycott is going to do anything other than exclude you from like this onslaught that's coming. And if you're doing that as an activist move, I think it's an impotent gesture. It's not really going to do anything. That boycott won't work because, dude, you think the big corpos aren't doing this? You think any filmmakers aren't going to start using this? You think everyone is going to start using this? Of course they are. It's too expensive to make stuff. And it takes too long. There's too many regulations in place. And again, the economic burden of making things is its own filtration mechanism that keeps all the weirdest ideas out. That's the story of TV. You flip through the TV. You want to know why everything looks like Below Deck? You want to know why everything looks like Cake Boss? You want to know why everything looks the same? It looks the same because whatever that look is has been identified as the look that grabs the most people, the average viewer. And that means the people who pay for this shit, the car companies, are going to give you money. And that's why we have this homogenized sort of array of content to choose from out there. That's why. So boycott, it's not going to do anything. That being said, any gesture that you make that comes from your heart, I think it's good. And I'm not mad at you for leaving my Instagram. I wish you'd come back. I hope you're watching. I miss you.
Gary Lee Haskins left a super chat.
Gary Lee Haskins, thank you so much. I'm anti Allen Iverson. Who isn't, man? Who isn't, man? So, okay, now I'm going to show you the one that got me in real trouble. Play the Charlie Kirk parody one. Boy. Woo! This one, it's wait, did I send that one to you?
Mm-mm.
Hold on, let me show you.
Can you airdrop it to the Mac?
Yeah, hang on. This one, while I dig that up, why don't you play the skateboard one?
Okay.
This one was not as popular. This was just me fucking around.
Okay, so you're not going to believe what happened when this Karen decided to confront the wrong skateboarder.
Are you seriously skateboarding in a cemetery?
The skateboarder does a trick and just vanishes, and she freaks out because he was a ghost.
Oh.
You are in hell, and all your friends are demons.
That was it. That was just like immediately after the The first one, I made that. And then now I will gonna play you the one that really got me cooked. And it was a misunderstanding too. People saw this as like a political statement when it really wasn't in the way people thought it was. Let me find this before my phone runs out of juice. Not a political statement. I mean, kind of. Really, like what I was, there's like the algorithm just serves me up annoying shit. And so I was just using that as a kind of reference point to make annoying stuff reminiscent of what I was tired of watching. And I'm sure all of you have seen the Charlie Kirk goes to college campus videos, no doubt. Shit, where is it?
Want me to play it on Instagram?
Oh, can you? Yeah,
Yeah.
just play it on Instagram. Now this one, oh boy. This one, people just can't believe what this is like, dude. I've become like essentially like Mussolini. Yeah, that one.
What is
Wait, start it over.
Their
Can you start
chemical
over?
composition is
How does it do that?
You know what? Let me send you the video itself, man.
Okay.
It's right here. I have it right here. Sorry, you guys. Hang on, let me find this. I forgot to send Josh this one. This one I really love. Let me see here. Where did I drop that thing? Dude. Oh, I think I put it here. No, I think this is it.
It's at 1.6 million.
1.6 million. I try not to get caught up in like views too much, but that was pretty wild to me only because it was so easy to make. And it was so dumb. Let me see.
Maybe the algorithm the algorithm uses AI, so maybe AI is pushing itself and it's like, ooh, I like this.
Yeah,
button.
that's what I was thinking. Probably everyone's posting this AI stuff, and then like oh, here it is. Okay, I'm gonna airdrop this to you, Josh. If it'll let me. Can I just text it to you?
Yeah.
Wait, here, airdrop's working. Yes, okay, I'm just gonna text it to you. But man, the other thing that I'll tell you after I show you this. Again, when I say I was trying to say something, it's not like I spent a long time thinking about what I was trying to say here. But I feel that's kind of the fun of this stuff, of this tech, is that you can use it to explore your own what you're trying to say. There is a weird collaborative element to it in the sense you're kind of working with chaos.
I got it.
Okay, cool. Now this one, I can't wait to show you some of the comments on this motherfucker. Like this one. Whoo.
Nope.
Not that one.
What was the one you sent?
The one I sent you that because it looked like the right one. It probably just hasn't come through yet.
I did again. Let me look back. There we go.
Yeah, that one. Watch this, y'all. This. And I'm going to make a follow-up to this one, too. I'm going to make a bunch of these. Yeah, there it is.
Stop saying squirt is pee.
their chemical composition is identical.
Not the same. You're wrong.
Up for doing a taste test?
You better believe I am.
Take a sip. Tell me what's in the cup.
That's definitely pee. Now give me the other cup.
There's no other cup because squirt is pee. I win.
Give it to you.
Okay. Who's next?
Oh, dude. That inspired so much fucking rage. Like, I was kind of shocked by how much rage that inspired. Like, dude, people, I don't know what people thought I was doing there. I think like people thought that like I was trying to lionize Charlie Kirk and make fun of college students. And that's sort of right, but not exactly. Because like my feeling with these Charlie Kirk videos, which show up on my feed all the time, because you watch one and then it's like, I guess you like that. Let me show you 5,000 more. And there's 5,000 of them. So if you don't know this phenomena, the phenomena is Charlie Kirk shows up at some like college campus. People know he's this anti-abortion Christian fucking conservative. So it's like, what are those things called? Murder hornets?
Yeah.
It's like when the murder hornet shows up in front of a beehive, and the bees just like, Jesus Christ, they freak out. And so he basically baits all of these incensed freshman, sophomore college students, and they come to bait him. Think like they probably sign papers letting him infinitely have whatever humiliation ritual they go through. And then they throw some shit his way. This dude is like CIA level debater. Like this guy is like been trained in a deep underground military bunker or something. Like he's gonna beat all of us in an argument. It doesn't matter if he's no matter what, you're gonna be defeated. Not only that, but the setting is you have the angered college students, and then you have like the Charlie Kirk devotees surrounding this kind of like almost a cult like vibe of like this welcome to the new America. We will bring you to our side. And if we don't, you're going to be embarrassed. And that's just funny. And so it produces great content and people love watching these fucking videos. They love seeing a college freshman trying to impress his girlfriend, getting up to the podium with some half-baked argument about some shit he hasn't researched enough. Meanwhile, Charlie Kirk is like in literally like the Library of Alexandria. Charlie Kirk probably has his own tram that takes him underneath the Vatican to study ancient tomes. Charlie Kirk is like memorized law, but we don't even know if he could be a robot. He might have AI in his ear. Who the fuck knows? But he just devastates these poor kids and they shuffle off. And I was in college. And let me tell you, I went to a liberal arts college in Asheville, North Carolina. And if Charlie fucking Kirk had shown up at my campus, you fucking better believe I'd have some freshman level shit to take down the old Kirk. Oh, I would have had something I learned from one of my professors, something about war being bad or the president sucks or something that you can only like you think about in college. You think about it on acid. You're fully convinced you have found the chink, the soft spot in Charlie Kirk's armor, and you're gonna shoot a perfect arrow that's gonna Charlie Kirk will weep. You're not even thinking, dude, he's gonna edit it however the fuck he wants. You think if you take down Kirk, he's gonna put that on his YouTube feed? You think that he doesn't have a way to edit it to fuck you up? Like, even if you did say the perfect words, like you were like Socrates reincarnated or time traveled, it shape shifted into a shabbily dressed, disheveled stoner college student and came to destroy Charlie Kirk, they'd be like, don't put that up. I didn't say what I meant to say. So you are essentially like signing up for this horrific humiliation ritual, no matter what. And but the other reason that the Charlie Kirk phenomena has caught my eye is because of the interdependency between Charlie Kirk and the college students. The college students, there is no Charlie Kirk phenomena on college campuses minus the aggrieved college students. Like they are more responsible for Charlie Kirk than Charlie Kirk is responsible for Charlie Kirk. It's like he's the wood That's all. He's like a pile of like conservative firewood, just sitting there dry, a perfectly constructed campfire before the lighter, made by a woodsman, dry and ready to woof. And then these are kids who are like, we don't want a campfire here. And then they just go and just they just lob Molotov cocktails into it, making the person that they hate gobs of dough, pouring money into a super PAC. The super PAC and puts money directly into the conservative agenda. So they might as well just like, instead of debating Charlie Kirk, write checks to his super PAC and send it to him. Just send the money directly. All you would have to do is have an organized campaign where every one of these students who is coming up to talk about abortion being like fine, or like the trans rights stuff, or any of the stuff that he's going to fucking eviscerate you on, if you just did an organized campaign where everybody went up there and said, you're great, we really like you, Charlie Kirk, hope you're having a good day, Charlie Kirk. So he couldn't get any content. So all he got was like college kids say, you're great, hope you're happy, bye. That would be the end of it. That would be the end. But it just would have to be some organized campaign or something. I mean, Jesus Christ. This is to me, the fundamental terrain when it comes to the quote culture wars, is that the both sides support each other. Both sides are the same thing. They feed into each other. The moment you decide to, like, the moment this wonderful Pima Chodron book that I'm listening to, she just nails it, dude. She's like, maybe I could actually pull it up because it was the last thing I listened to. And then I'll show you the next thing I made. I want to read you some of these comments too. Let's see if I can find it. Pretty much the last thing I listened to.
Him to explode. People just wished that he would go away. Gurdjieff liked to make his students do things that were complete Logan. He was living not too far from Paris in a big manor house once.
I can't find
too much for this fellow.
Basically, her point is, if you surround yourself with people who just agree with you, then inevitably you think you figured it out. You've curated your friend group. You've managed to, the content that you're absorbing is according to what you think is right in the world. And then somebody shows up, and I don't know if you've ever had this happen, where you're trying to make something, you've decided you're in charge. You really think you're an expert, and then some motherfucker is like, dude, that sucks. And you're like, what? What? Excuse me? What did you say? No, it's like, I see it happen with my kids all the time. It's so funny. My kids do it to me all the time. You want that in your life. You need someone who just, whether or not it's bullshit or not, you need someone to call you on your bullshit. Even if it's not bullshit, you need someone who's like, I don't know about that. That sounds wrong. And that's good, because when that happens, you get to experience your ego fully. You get to experience this psychic butthole clench inside of you. And it is awesome when it happens. So embarrassing. You might huff and puff. It's really funny when I'm catching myself doing it. It's so embarrassing. Like, well, actually, let me just pull this up on Google. And I'm afraid in this case, you're wrong indeed. And you try to hold it together. You're trying to act like you're not a frothing rabid dog, that someone is in your face, just slap down something you've said that you were certain is real, and maybe is. And so what she is saying happens in that case is, either you have patience, you've cultivated your compassion, you don't care about winning so much, and have the spaciousness to let that exist in your life without banishing them. But generally, because it fucking stings, is you make that person your enemy. That's a bad person there. That's not one of me's. And then you sort of create a team, and that team all believes the same thing. That team is on your side. Yes, of course, that's correct. What you said was right. Absolutely. And those people who are saying the other thing are fucking assholes. And we shouldn't even talk to them. And then she's like, and that's how you get war. That's how you get World War III. That's how you get all the violence, all the war, all the everything. And so when you're seeing those types of videos or any rage baiting shit that's designed to hold up one side over the other, or saying this side is right, that side is wrong, but the side that's right depends on the side being wrong just to even exist, then you realize you're looking at a hole on. The thing is, its antithesis is it. The moment that something only exists by resisting another thing, then that thing is fully dependent on that which it's resisting to maintain its identity. And ideally, if you're resisting something, you would think that eventually you no longer have to resist because you've overcome whatever it is. You've found some peace, you've harmonized or whatever. But when the identity of resistance is just to resist because you're a resistor, then you become dependent on something to resist against. In other words, you must have your enemy in healthy. And the idiot way to say it is, if you make umbrellas, you need it to rain. And so you become addicted to the enemy situation. You become addicted to finding the villain. You become addicted to discovering the wrong person out there so you could be righteous and right and feel good. And you don't realize that, like, the initial impulse that you had to make the world a better place by fighting against the evil people, it's not even there anymore. You just want to be a resistor. And so it's important to acknowledge that, or you end up getting stuck in one of the worst kinds of traps of all time. Now, let me read some comments. This is amazing, by the way.
Disaster Pieces wants to know, when are we having Alex Jones on, my dude?
I'd love to have Alex Jones on. Absolutely would love that. I don't know how to get in touch with that guy. I did ask my booking people about him, but I never heard back. It'd be fun.
Parking Lot has one as well.
I don't know what it means, parking lot. Thank you, parking lot. Can you tell me what you mean by that? Sometimes, I've watched the phenomena here and recognized I've seen so many times fools like me getting caught by one of those things and saying terrible things accidentally. And it's so funny. And I don't want to do it. So I don't know what that means.
Are you the exotic one?
Are you
esoteric one, sorry.
Are you on semen retention? Well, the esoteric one, I'm glad you asked. Why do you see like cum dripping out of my eyes? Do you notice that it's backed up all the way into my eyes? I'm weeping jizz now. I do buy into that stuff, like the no fap thing. I do think there's something to it, man. There's something to it, like, for sure. Like not coming definitely gets you into like a very weird headspace. Like you become fiery and sort of like, I mean, like, it's vitality. You feel really alive. You're horny, basically. Like, horniness is like a form of like crazy engagement with existence. And I think the problem with the semen retention stuff, like from the brief cursory Taoist shit I've read about it, is like that the idea is not that you don't come and then you just sort of walk around in a kind of low level state, like a dog in heat. You like God, like you don't. If you ever seen an animal in heat, like it's so fucked up. And the idea is you could actually move that energy through the chakras, or you move that energy. You don't keep it in the root chakra. You get it moving. You spread the jam on the bread. You don't have it all clustered on one side where you're just like, dude, I gotta fuck.
That's by age too. Apparently, if you're like 40, you're supposed to wait 8 days between each.
Comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only jerk off 40-year-olds like every 8 days. Because if you do it, it's not, they like it, but it's like, trust me, they're in it. They become sour. Literally, like it's not good.
Skinny E36 had one.
Davis Grimley can't talk about that. NDA. I'm so sorry. Thank you, Skidding. Thanks for the question. I'm reading some of these. Adam is asking if I'm good. I look too skinny. God, that feels good. So I think what you're saying is like, I'm not good skinny right now. Like, and I know what you're talking about. Like, and I've seen this happen to people who get on the Ozempic, and I got to be on it because of my diabetes. I mean, there are other medications out there I could take. I don't eat sugar. But here's the answer to your question. The good news is my blood sugar is like normal now. Like it's gotten my blood sugar to like a normal non-diabetic state, which is fucking great. The bad news is I have to force myself to fucking eat, which is not good. I recognize that. So I don't know if maybe we'll go back on the dose of it or something, but I've been shoving shit into my mouth and eating it. But I that's my reservation about Ozempic is like, that's great if you're 100 pounds overweight, but it's not so good if you're not. So it feels weird to like force yourself to eat. It feels kind of like anti-life. Like I don't want to like grudgingly eat. It's what happens when you're sick. So that's what you're seeing probably is like a little bit of like too much Ozempic weight loss. And I haven't been going to the gym. So there's solutions. Don't worry. My wife's like fattening me up right now. So it'll come back. But your analysis is accurate. And when I've seen that, it's like kind of off-putting too. Like it's not like there's like good thin, and then there's like, dude, you got hepatitis. So yes, I do. I think I do have to start like eating more like cheese or something.
Sam Swin had a good one. He says, Duncan, have you ever killed anyone or made someone stop living?
Sam Swim. Thank you for asking. Look, first we have to start off by asking ourselves, what is life? And, so I think I need more of a definition of what you mean by life. Like, is life really just the physical body? Because, from my perspective, life is much bigger than just the circumference of one's body. Much, much bigger than that. And wouldn't you say, like, what if I took virtual reality goggles off of somebody who didn't know they were stuck in VR? Did I kill them? Or did I set them free? Did I kill them or did I set them free? If somebody is burdened in this world, somebody's confused this waking dream we call life with life itself, you jostle them awake from that dream. Have you killed them? When somebody shook you awake when you were having a nightmare, did you say, "Why'd you kill me?" I don't think so. I think you probably said, "Thank you. That was a rough dream. I dreamed I was hopping railroad cars. Dreamed I was hopping railroad cars with a bad foot. Dreamed somebody wearing a goat's mask ran up at me and said, 'I'm going to set you free.' And then you woke me up." You're not going to say, "You killed me." And you're not going to say the man in the dream killed me either. You're gonna say that was just a dream. Just a dream, Sam. Just a dream. What other questions do we have?
Just wondering if you ever have a conversation with somebody that understands interdimensional space travel compression like a physicist.
Okay, wait. Just wondering if you'll ever have a conversation with somebody that understands interdimensional space travel compression like a physicist. That's crazy. You're wondering that. That's amazing. You're wondering that. I mean, I would say the odds of me having that conversation are not zero, but only because I don't think interdimensional. You got to be more detailed, man. What do you mean? The last time I brought up fucking wormholes to a physicist, he slapped me down, spanked my ass, embarrassed me. I was just trying to seem smart, and I just seen Interstellar, and he made me feel like a real dipshit. So no, I don't think I'll ever bring up anything again with a physicist because I don't know enough about physics. I like physicists, and I hope that they create technologies that allow us to travel backwards in time or teleport. My God, I hope they invent teleportation technologies. But because I hate flying. I mean, that would be the dream of a traveling comedian, to just go into some wormhole in my house and be in a green room. But
I think he said wormholes are for pussies.
yeah, he said wormholes are for pussies. And that hurt. That stung. And I deserved it because I wouldn't know a wormhole from a hole. I don't know what a wormhole looks like or is. What was it? I didn't even remember. I knew it was something bridge. I'd seen Interstellar, and I knew this what's it called? An Einstein Rosen something bridge. And I was trying to be smart. I wanted to impress him. I've got mild daddy issues. I wanted him to think I was cool, so I brought that up like I knew what the fuck I was talking about. And he knew I didn't right. Look at me. He knew, and it hurt. He does that to people sometimes. I liked it. Blee Blue is saying teleportation is scary. Star Trek style is just a guillotine and a new copy of you. But yeah, exactly, Blee Blue. I mean, that version of teleportation, which is essentially just cloning yourself and it's 3D printing yourself in another part of the universe, is not the type of teleportation I'd be interested in. But if you want a great, spooky short story on teleportation, then you must check out The Jaunt by Stephen King, which is so fucking great. And in this short story, this dude basically invents teleportation. He doesn't know what it is, but he starts sending mice through this teleportation device. And on the other end, the mice are all fucked up and die. But then he sends fish through, and the fish are fine on the other side. And he can't understand what was happening. He realizes it's because the fish was asleep. So if you go through this thing while you're asleep, you're fine. But if you go through it while you're awake, it feels like in between you've been in the void for an infinite amount of time. And so you come out just a gibbering loon. And one of my favorite parts in that short story is there's a guy on death row, and they tell him, if you'll go through this thing awake, we're gonna set you free, but you got to go through it awake. And of course he says yes, and he comes out the other side, and he's just all fucked up, and they're like, what happened? And he's like, it's a long time in there. And then he just dies. So it's so good. It's set up in an airport for this technology called jaunting. And it's this dad telling his kid the story of the technology. And, and then, they all come around with a gas to make sure everyone's asleep. And I won't ruin what happens at the end, but you could probably guess. It's prime Stephen King. Super fucking good.
Got another super chat.
Leprechaun, talk to Ashton Forbes. Who is that? I'm going to look it up.
Lil Walkheart Universe says, I had a lazy fish that used to sleep all day. Think he was on coke.
I don't think he's on coke. right? Like I'd say if your fish was probably more on Xanax than Coke. Ashton Forbes. What is this? Oh, investigative journal. Oh, he's exploring flight MH370. Oh yeah, baby. That's a cool one, isn't it? What do you guys think about that? What do you think about that, Josh?
What is it?
Well, pull up flight MH370.
Come on, Google. Oh, the Malaysia airline flight.
Yeah, pull it up on YouTube. Pull up flight MH370 and then pull up UFO. Or UAP, probably is what the kids are saying now.
Is this the one with the 3 things flying around it?
Yeah, spinning all around it. Zap it out. And the footage has been analyzed a million times. But for those of you who somehow missed this, check it out. So, obviously people are saying this is fake, but then there's been analysis of, like, I guess the camera this was shot with, and people say that this is not fake at all. It is like this actually is some new tech. These little sweeties go zinging around. If you see those things outside your plane window, kiss your baby. Because you're about to go to Never Land.
Wasn't there some scientist on that flight too or something like that?
I don't know. These little bubbly bastards come spinning around. They're zipping. I haven't seen that footage, and then bam, gone. Or it evaporates it, teleports it. It was some tech they were testing out. They wanted to get rid of the scientist. Who the fuck knows? But I guess that's who Ashton Forbes is. He must explore that stuff.
Oh, it's 20 employees of the free scale semiconductor.
No way. What? Okay, wait. 20 employees of Freescale Semiconductor are on this plane. This U.S. technology company produces powerful microchips used in various industries, including defense. 12 of these employees were from Malaysia and 8 were from China. There were reportedly technical staff involved in streamlining Freescale's chip facilities in Tianjin, China, and Kuala Lumpur. Dr. Yuchin Lee, a Cambridge University doctoral engineering graduate. Dr. Lee had recently taken a prominent geotechnical position in Beijing. Whoa. Wow. That is fucking crazy, man. Yeah, well, the semiconductor stuff is, I wish I could remember a name. Maybe someone in the chat can remind me, but there's an entire branch of conspiracies based on this scientist who was studying like room temperature superconductors. I can't remember what that's called. Basically, if you want to get to levitation technology minus how much it costs, then you want to figure out a way to use that tech at room temperature. And so apparently she had figured out how to do that, and it seems somehow connected to that, which is fucking crazy. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't, with that flight in particular, it seems a little bizarre. The plane just disappears like that. Like, surely there's tracking technology on these things. Like, they should have, don't you think they would have been able to find it? Like, what could have happened? How many systems had to fail that the plane just disappears completely? How many systems failed? So who knows? But oh, wait. Adam is saying Sonny White gave Joe a free energy microchip on the fucking podcast. Where were you? I don't know where I was. Seriously? I don't have time to watch a bunch of podcasts, man. Don't get mad. Why are you all uppercasing me? 5 minutes self-ban. Relax, Adam Dev. Jesus Christ. What does that even mean? A free energy microchip? What did he give something for Joe to put the microchip in, or did he just give him a microchip? Because somebody could give me a microchip and say, dude, Jesus lives in here. And like it would end up in my junk drawer. You're going to have to give me more than a microchip. You can't just give someone a microchip. Also, dude, people give me USB drives sometimes after shows. And like that ends up in the trash. I'm not putting that in my computer.
They mail you tapes.
And tapes. People mail me tapes and weird shit. But I'll look it up, the free energy microchip. Ooh, but did you guys see the Diddy coded message? Oh my God. Pull this up, Josh. Look up P. Diddy coded message. He's talking to his kid from jail, and he's like having to send some kind of creepy ass code from jail. It's on YouTube.
He's facing charges of sex trafficking.
No, let's see. Diddy prison phone call, secret message. Yeah, that's it. The top one.
This one?
The one at the very top.
Entertain none of this nonsense and nothing over the phone. I'm gonna need you to get rid of all the leftover pizza boxes. The what? All the boxes leftover from the pizza. All the boxes. Okay. Make sure you recycle the plastic like we talked about. Yeah. Did Jay reach out yet? Nah, Pop. He ghosting. Yeah, watch. What this motherfucker doing? These things sweet because I'm in here. Jay-Z reach out. You about to get out on bail. No. Hey, yo, check this out. Need you to reach out to the producer. Let these motherfuckers know there's a release date for that new Netflix movie. Alright, Pop. It's fucking crazy right now.
Dude.
Why is it always pizza?
I don't know. It's fucking with my head, man. I don't know. It's so spooky. It's so spooky. Like, why pizza? Come on, there's got to be another code out there, man.
Hot dog.
Couldn't you say hot dog? Or that's anything, man. You could taco. Get rid of those taco boxes. Why'd you have to say pizza boxes? And then the obvious threat to release whatever fucking creepy ass video he's got, talk to the producer, the Netflix movie's coming out sooner. Whoa. What does he have on camera? What is about to come out? And like, how the fuck is he still alive? That's the craziest part, is like, truly, he was like top list for, as the kids were saying, unaliving himself. It's so spooky and weird. I mean, but the pizza thing itself is just unhinged and absolutely satanic. P. Diddy, his is he being like accused of like Epstein?
Yeah.
Before we begin.
So this was another one about Jennifer Lawrence saying that.
Is that real? Let's play it.
Well, that was a 30-minute video. Let me find another one.
Jennifer Lawrence was in court?
The truth to whether Jennifer Lawrence really testified during Diddy's.
Let's see. That doesn't seem real.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the shit that is coming out is just so fucked up.
Never mind.
No, Jennifer Lawrence did not testify. No. That's the problem with this stuff, man. Just like so much bullshit. I mean, look, one thing that you could bet $1 trillion on and make $1 trillion is that crazy shit happens in the upper echelons of power. Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, crazy shit that once you get outside of the gladiator arena we're all fucking flailing around in, who knows? Once you're sitting in the top seats doing the thumbs up and thumbs down to everybody, who knows what you're doing, what's going on there.
What's the craziest shit you ever saw in LA, like firsthand?
Well, I never saw. I mean, I will tell you something really crazy I did see, though.
Okay.
I think I've talked about it on the podcast, though, and no one's going to believe me. This sounds like I'm making it up. And like, I swear to you, I saw this. And to this day, I think about it every once in a while. I'm like, what the fuck was that, man? Like, what did I see? And so this was, I don't remember what year it was, but this was when I was in my full like bachelor phase. This is where I was in full cynical bachelor, depressed, nihilist, alcoholic, just maniac phase. Meaning I celebrated my loathing of Christmas. Like I hated Christmas. I hated when Christmas came around. I think like not to like self-diagnose. I think I have seasonal affect disorder. Like I get gloomy in the winter. And I think at that time I was like fully unaware of what was going on. But so by the time Christmas rolls around, I'm probably like just depressed as fuck and just hating life and hating Christmas music and hating all of it and happily not going back to hang out with my family and excited about being alone on Christmas. Like real like high level Grinch depressed shit. So I don't know exactly what miscreant bullshit I was doing on Christmas Eve. Pretty sure it's Christmas Eve. But something, because I was coming home at like right as the sun's coming up. And those are like crazy drives. If you ever done that, those are crazy drives. Shouldn't be driving. But I'm coming home on Christmas. I just remember, I think the sun was rising. It's a foggy memory. And I'm telling you, I saw this. I almost don't want to say it because it sounds, I do bullshit on the show a lot, but this is real. West Hollywood, crossing the street in front of me was a cloaked little person in a little carriage or some kind of buggy thing being pulled by a goat going south, going like down La Cienega. Just crosses the fucking street like he was in a hurry to get somewhere. It was a goat pulling a cart with a cloaked little person in it going somewhere on Christmas morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like the opposite of Rudolph. Like if you wanted the opposite of a sleigh and Santa Claus, you get some kind of cloaked fucking little guy. I couldn't see him. They were cloaked. Like they had some hooded thing on and they were being pulled by a goat. I saw that. And I remember as I'm seeing it thinking, no one's going to believe me. Like this is so absolutely bizarre. It's like early Christmas morning, streets are empty. I don't think anyone else was around. It's one of those things that's so crazy you don't even want, afterwards you just try not to think about it, that you saw like a cloaked figure. Now pull up little person being pulled by goat, because look at this shit. This is a real thing. These are real. Just so you know, these things are out there. I saw this afterwards. I'd never seen it before. I mean, it was that the goat. This little guy was being pulled by was far more like trained. Like it was like a carriage goat. Maybe goat carriage. Look up goat carriage. Yeah, there.
This one?
That. Just so you know, these happen. Yeah. Just going right across right through West Hollywood on Christmas morning. Pull up another one. It's a goat cart. This is real. I mean, yeah, again, I'm not saying these obviously exist. It's just like I've never seen a goat cart in Hollywood, and certainly I've never seen one on Christmas morning. And I guess the other part of that that really bothered me was and it felt like that little guy was like needed to be somewhere, like he was late for something. But you know, those moments happen all the time. You got to ask yourself, how often have you seen something so weird you just forgot about it because you didn't want to deal with the implications in reality of what it meant? So you saw it and you were like, I'm just not going to live in that world. And then you just forget about it. But that was one of the top strangest things that I ever saw in in Hollywood. And but as far as like the P Diddy shit or the Epstein shit, like I didn't really see anything like that. Um but usually the way stuff like that works is okay. Josh, have you ever been hit on by swingers?
Yeah.
Okay. So remember what that was like?
Yeah. I felt very happy. I wasn't gonna do it, but I was like, "Thank you."
It's cool.
Yeah.
But also like because swingers uh it's weird, right? Like there's like they don't want you to look at them like freaks or whatever, but they might get this vibe that are you and your wife into fucking us, but they're not sure. And they have to do this thing where they just make little jokes. And the little jokes are, like if you're out for a date with somebody and they start talking about, like, if they make a joke about getting their ass eaten,
Mhm.
they like to have their ass eaten. You know what I mean? That's generally what it means. If they're people like, they aren't going to say right away, listen, my wife and I love getting banged down by strangers, and you guys seem like fun to bang and be banged down by. So we were just wondering if you guys would bang us down. They don't say things like that. They'll say like, "Do you want a pineapple, or how about a bowl of pineapple slices? Then I suck your dick."
Or unicorn, I heard.
Yes, right. So they bring up this weird coded shit, and you usually what if you're not aware of the lingo, you'll just get a generally icky feeling or something like whatever that feeling is real, and they right away see that, oh shit, this isn't like a swinger, and then they back off. So I feel like the Epstein stuff and the P Diddy stuff and the pedophilia shit, it starts there. It's there is some kind of like probably some characteristic they're looking for, like that probably rotates around open-mindedness, that rotates around some form of like, I don't know, like hunger, or like, you get so like desperate out there, some combination of like complete warped values, but you think you're an intellectual and you want to be accepted. And it's probably a long conversation, I would guess, that happens, and there's many chances before you end up at the party where you're watching some horrific thing that you can't talk about or you'll get murdered. There's probably I don't know. I saw some I think it was a comedian do a joke. Somebody, his wife or his girlfriend cheated on him, and he's like, "It's not the cheating on part that hurts. It's all the fucking steps that led to you sucking the guy's dick that bother me. The sucking of the cock part, yeah, that's not great. But it's like, what was the first silly text you sent? Or how did you get the number under the auspices of something else, even though you were like, that's a cute dude? And then all the little like moments preceding the cock suck, all those micro betrayals that led to you at Chad's house at 3 a.m. getting jizz blasted all over your face.
Mine was weird. I think they drugged my wife. Is what they did. We're at a wedding and we knew them. It was a couple and they got like 5 kids. They're Catholic. They go to church. We see them all the time.
Fuck.
And my wife didn't have that much to drink. And we're going back up to my hotel room, our hotel room to smoke. And all of a sudden, as we're walking, my wife, I'm like, where did my wife go? And they're like, oh, she's fine. She's over there. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna go get her. And then I go over there, like, they told me to sit here. And I was like, she didn't have that much. She didn't have that much to drink. She had like 2 drinks and she was out of it. And so we go back up and my wife goes immediately to the bathroom, starts puking her guts out. And the husband and wife, the wife is on the floor, like just massaging herself and like making noises. And the dude's just standing, or her husband just standing over her. And I'm in the room like, I thought we were just gonna smoke some weed. Like, what the fuck?
No, you weren't.
Yeah. And then I was just like, well, I gotta take care of my wife. She's not. She's like, oh, she's fine. I was
She's
like,
fine.
she's not fine.
She's fine.
It was weird. It was weird.
Dude. I mean, that's that. There is a whole big, massive section of society that's completely normal to them.
Yeah.
Not the drugging your drink part. That's fucked up. But yeah, it's just one of the ways people decide to be married, man. And it like for some people, it's apparently like great for the marriage.
Yeah.
There are people now. So I think though that if you're gonna do like what happened is like in the 70s, I think it was the 70s, 60s, 70s, swinging was like some kind of like edgy, fashionable thing, right? So you were a swinger, you go to key parties, swap keys, you get some, you ever key you got, you go bang them down that night. Your wife gets banged out by somebody. Everybody's fucking, they're listening to like, I don't know, the Rolling Stones or jazz, dress silly. They're swingers. They're just horny, like older people. And then that kind of evolved into polyamory is what they call it, where it's like a more of a controlled kind of swinging or something like that. It's like, this is for the relationship also, not just for fucking. And then that became a whole phenomena. And then, but the swingers have always been over on the side, just like, all right, you guys go have a fucking relationship. We're just fucking. This is just fucking. We just like to fuck weird strangers. I like watching my wife getting banged down in dark rooms. You go, what? You guys go on a family vacation or whatever. We don't want to go through that. And so the swingers became like sort of the like, I don't know, like the unsavory group over there. But I've read interviews with like, I can't remember the guy's name. He's some famous actor, and him and his wife do that. And he's like, it's the best thing that ever happened to our marriage. I would hate it. I'm a never nude. Like the idea of like publicly fucking that's like a nightmare for me. That's a nightmare. That the whole situation just sounds just terrible. I feel like I'm gonna just fucking come too fast and then have to watch my wife get fucked all night for the whole night. You know, and like that, I do not want to experience that post-cum like feeling.
Yeah.
When you like you're like, great, you got to hook up with some dude's like hot wife or whatever, but you came in 8 seconds. These are like pro level swingers. He's not gonna come. He already jerked off 9 times that day. He's got a pump. He's got a penis pump. So he just like anytime he just inflates his massive dick and he's fine. And he's like, you're just like, dude, I think I'm gonna go to bed. I had too many vodkas, and then you just sulk off to your hotel room. Fuck that. No thanks. Yeah, that's a Binding of Isaac shirt, Beto. Isn't that cool? I've got a whole bunch of them. He sent me a bunch of these. He was on my podcast. Love Follette says, I can't wait to read the Duncan has changed subreddit post about. I mean, don't you want like The other thing about the whole "I've changed" thing is, like, how do you not change? If if any of you all not change, like, how do you not change? Wouldn't it be weird if I hadn't changed at all? Isn't, like, the entirety of the stuff I've been babbling about just been whatever phase I was in? It's unnerving if people don't want you to change. Like, that is a really, like, horrible thing to do to people, is to not let them change. Because essentially you're asking them to, like, wear a fucking mask. It's gross. You know, especially dude, if you're gonna be in a long-term marriage, you better be ready for some change, because people change. There's no way not to, and if, like, you find yourself trying to adhere to some form, but for any reason at all, but especially if the reason is, like, some perception of a, quote, "brand," ugh, gross. Like, what are you, like, the Burger King? What are you, Ronald McDonald? That's fucked up. And I mean, I do understand, it's off-putting, the fundamental reality of change. As a parent, my God, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. The little baby melts away, and you have to deal with that. And then the toddler melts away. And then, like, all these moments that you had as a fully formed adult with this, like, angelic being that was only going to be around in that form for maybe a year or two, that meant a lot to you. They're not going to remember them. And you have to sort of endure that. It's always inside of your kid, that pure reality, but it's changes. And the change never stops. And like, if you are a talker like I am, if this is somehow your job, you do find yourself in these dark moments where you realize either I keep saying the things I think, or I say the things I used to think that I don't think as much anymore. And that's the devil's road, my friends. That's a dark fucking road to go down. And you've had that happen in a relationship. Many of you have had that happen in a relationship where you so desperately want this person to like you that you try to maintain the form you think they like. And that is evil. More on your part than their part, because they're being themselves. They want to crystallize you as this or that. But you're a chameleon, maintaining some form that you think this person likes best about you. Wearing the clothes you think they like, cutting your hair the way you think they want you to cut your hair. And dude, that's really a bad thing to do. To avoid some transient heartbreak, to turn yourself into some wax sculpture version of yourself. Oh, doesn't feel good at all. Horrible feeling. Horrible feeling. That being said, it's like, you don't have to announce every goddamn new change that's the other problem, is like, there's an entire, now that we're living in the age of micro audiences, now that we're living in the age of, like, this bizarre genre that we probably won't even call podcasting much longer. Who knows what we'll call it? But now that we're living in this age, you could find all of these various, like, genres, confessionalism being one of them, which is this form of public persona that seems to only maintain relevance in the face of some new epiphany, some new transformation, some constant transformation that's always radical. And, like, how many times can you have a radical transformation in your life? Change is also usually pretty fucking slow. It's a slow boil. You don't even know what's happening. I mean, that's what's cool about getting old and terrifying about getting old. You look in the mirror one day and you're like, Jesus Christ, did I just make out with a goddamn succubus last night? How did I get old overnight? You didn't. or like getting fat, like the times I've gotten super fat. It happens so slowly. Suddenly you look in the mirror like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. How did this happen? So change usually is pretty slow. Um, Meaning, and most of the time you're not even so aware of it, but God, you need to be in an environment that doesn't pander to you, but that also isn't going to try to keep you crystallized in some form. Uh, because that means that you're living with like somebody who should be running a wax museum. And you shouldn't do that to other people too. As uncomfortable as it could be, it's really sometimes can be a little unnerving in a relationship because you recognize like the change isn't happening according to your convenience. In parenting, this is like when your kid, I don't know, the classic example is your kid is gay and you don't want your kid to be gay because you have like formulated an idea of what that means and it ain't great. And that's really fucked up. There's a million horror stories about parents who like try to impose some kind of heteronormative lifestyle on their kids. But, my mom didn't want me to be a comedian. And I get that. I get why, because I'm sure she didn't think I was that funny. I guarantee that. And she probably thought I was annoying. And also she recognized like that's going to be a more difficult life. And you want your kid to have like a non-difficult life. But that's fucked up because you're not growing a bonsai tree. Like this is Ram Dass would say soul, not roll, meaning you like let's say you're a comedian and let's say one of your kids starts like showing signs that they want to like, I don't know, get into construction. You don't know anything about tools or anything like that. Maybe you would like it if your kid was like into art or something. But dude, if you like try to force that on a kid, you're a monster. So what you have to do is start learning how to do some woodworking. You have to start taking them to Home Depot. You have to start showing them like houses under construction and like do everything you can to like fan the flame of whatever their interest is. Or you're like, but then you become like you'll become what's the word for it? A warden versus a parent. Your job is to keep your kid from blowing their face off because they want to see what happens if they throw gasoline on a fire, not to control the trajectory of your kid's life and any of your friends or anybody like that. It's just easier, isn't it? That's the narcissist personality, wants to keep everyone like sort of controlled around them in some stable, controllable form. And versus like allowing chaos to reign if chaos is freedom to transform. It's a long way of saying, I hope I've changed. God, it'd be really fucked up if I hadn't. I mean, I can't believe how many episodes of my podcast are out there, how many phases I've gone through. Went through the polyamory phase publicly, went through cancer, parents' deaths, went through a variety of like spiritual phases, went through ups and downs. And I'm sure many things that I've proclaimed throughout the lifetime of this podcast are mortifying. I have no doubt. But I've probably said shit with certainty just because that's the quality. That's like what a fool does. And so, yeah, probably somewhere along the way, there's people who like tuned into some frame of my like life and they're like, that you should have stayed there. You should have stayed at like going to Burning Man and like being addicted to ketamine and like fully like full stoner mode. Because that is where I'm at right now. And I could connect to that. And I get that. I totally get that. But man, I doubt, I mean, any of you or anyone who bitches about that stuff is gonna stay the same, even though you think you are. I mean, God, that's the funniest thing about being human. You stumble upon something and you're so certain this is it. This is it, man. I got it. Like when I almost became a Hare Krishna. Boy, that was it, man. That was it. And shave my head. Not because I was balding. I had hair back then. I was gonna shave my fucking head and become a Vaishnava. Chant Hare Krishna in the temples, distribute books on the streets, have a spiritual master, wear one of those choker collars on my neck, live in a bus, learn how to do temple puja rituals. I still have the prayer memorized, some of it. I used to have the whole thing memorized, but I can't remember it all the way. But it was so powerful and beautiful. And I was so sure that that was everything.
This person says you changed their life. Crumble McBumblebonk. Duncan, I tweeted you once asking about Buddhism, and you told me to read A Path with Heart, and now I'm training to become a meditation teacher.
Oh, that's great. That's a good book. A Path with Heart, Jack Kornfield, one of the great preeminent Buddhist teachers out there, Mahayana Buddhism. Really a wonderful book. And he is such a sweetheart, man. He's such a brilliant person. I got to have him back on the show. Like that guy, whoa, mind blower, real teacher. And yeah, like, you know, all these teachers have this quality that is so interesting because if any of us tried to do it, it would seem crass or could seem potentially rude. And but a great teacher, like it's like an archer or something. They just know how to hit the bullseye at just the right time. Or it's like a great masseuse. You know, when you go to a really good masseuse and they go right to the part of your back that hurts, somehow they just know, they could just tell this is what needs the massage. And so this last Ram Dass retreat I went to, him and Trudy were teaching there, and you know, Aaron, came, and it's hard to leave the kids. It's hard to leave the kids for a mom, especially, and it's intense. And so there's a lot of mom stuff that happens there, and which that's the exact wife that I would want. Like I it would be unnerving if my wife was like not thinking about the kids and worried about them or being away from them. And so we run into like Jack and Trudy in the lobby of the hotel, and Aaron goes, I'm missing the kids, like trying to not make a big deal out of it. And he gets this twinkle. They all have this cool twinkle in their eyes. And he goes, yes, because if you weren't here, who would take care of them and how would they be? And it was like the worst. Like you would think that's the worst thing, but it was so funny in the way he was saying it, which was really saying like they're gonna be fine no matter what, with or without you, which is so crazy. But you can't say that, but you can't say it without love in your heart and like a recognition that if there's a bubble to be popped here by pointing out in a silly way that the world will take care of your children. It was really a beautiful moment. I don't know if I articulated it but it completely shifted the energy that I think she was feeling into something more manageable. And that's what they do. It's so crazy to watch it happen in real time. I don't think they even think about it. I just think they just spontaneously sort of do that. And anyway, he wrote a bunch of great books, A Path with Heart being the one that I think is the most, like people know about that one the most. Highly recommend it too if you're interested in Buddhism and sort of like thrown off by the more dry iterations of it, or like Chogyam Trungpa freaks you out and you're looking for something super accessible and applicable, that's a good starter book. So that's really cool. I'm glad you're doing that.
Sleazy Demon says he played your show backwards. You said to sacrifice my family and pets and I would be rich. When does the rich part kick in?
Okay, so I said a lich. I said if you sacrifice your family and kids, you'll be a lich, which is an undead sort of skeletal thing. So you gotta, I'm sorry, but backtracking is not as easy as you think. It's not like fucking Led Zeppelin just gets in the studio and like does like Satan is my music, and it comes out as Satan is the path or whatever. And also, I think there was an edit we did somewhere in there where it sounds like rich when it was supposed to be lich, like a lich, like a scary undead wizard. And that will happen upon the cessation of biological life, and you have to die in a crystal cave.
You have 2 super chats here.
Jesus, Kansas official. This is amazing. And I feel a little nervous. I love Kansas, and it's crazy. This is the official Kansas account. How is the current trajectory of AI and all the possible ways it's going to change society, changing how you raise your kids? I have a kid, but I don't know how to prepare her for such an uncertain future. Oh my God. Thank you. Love that question. Spacey Gray, we'll get to you in 1 second. That's a good question. And I think it's on every parent's mind right now, which is essentially parenting pre-singularity is what you're talking about. Like, what the fuck is coming, and how do we get our kids ready for a completely different cultural landscape than what we're experiencing right now? On par with like, imagine if I'm trying to think, imagine if people, how do people in, oh God, I'm trying to think of a time period that I'm familiar with. The 1100s. I'm not familiar with that, but let's go back that far. Imagine if you were parenting in the 1100s, how would you prepare your kids if suddenly there was going to be a tesseract that made it go from 1100 to 2024 in a period of like 3 years? So how do you get your kids ready for that? Except you don't know what 2024 is going to even look like. So you can't. In that way, there really is. It's not a great analogy, but for example, I think you can prognosticate some of the things that are coming. Like augmented reality is gonna wearables that aren't our phones, some kind of interface that allows people to directly commune or connect with AI and their phone technology is for sure going to be there. The new Ray-Ban glasses, Google's putting out these glasses, but it's like our phones minus the latency of having to look at your phone, having to people to know that you're looking at your phone. So, another way to put it would be instantaneous access to information in real time, meaning that it won't matter if you don't know Spanish. Everyone will speak every language in real time. And computers, I think, like as we think of computers, which are, based obviously on like apps, they won't exist in the same way, and that apps will be created in real time according to the need of the user. So the computer becomes more like a genie or something where you just tell it what you want, what game you want to play, what content you want to watch, whatever it is you're looking to do, and it will either serve that up to you in real time, or it will give you like the steps to do that thing. So basically, like we're looking at kind of diminishing latency when it comes to wanting to do something, having to learn how to do something and doing that thing. And so much of what we have come to understand as success or um, being useful in the world, it seems to be based on specialization. In other words, you go to a specialist because that latency for them is going to be far less than the latency for you. For example, if I want to put up drywall in my house, that fucking Austin storm fucked us up. I'm gonna have to get a whole roof. I'm gonna have to get a huge part of our roof replaced. If I want to do that myself, that's gonna take 10 years, probably 10 years to do it right. 3 years of failing. I don't know. I'll have to go through the divorce after my wife leaves me for trying to put the roof on. Probably by the time I even get to where I can put the roof on, my life is in shambles. Or I go to a roofer who's can do it, in a week. And so that's specialization. It's a person who spent years and years and years learning how to do that stuff. And this has created this economic ecosystem that we all exist in. And this is why when someone asks you what you do, it means what's your area of specialization? And so that is going to go out. That's going to be less, I would say, something you lead with, because everyone's going to do everything. Everyone's going to know how to do everything. And I would guess that robotics technology, by the time my kids graduate from high school, is going to be so advanced that most human labor, as we understand it, is not going to be there anymore. You could already look up the people 3D printing houses, drone technology that will modular drone technology that can assemble things, hyper advanced 3D printers that can construct God knows what. But just latency. We're looking at less latency between what you want to exist in the world and what will exist in all this economic instability and blah, blah. But so how do you raise a kid in the face of all that? Well, I think what isn't going to change are the fundamental humanist principles. Those are always going to be the same. And which to me sort of revolves around service, selflessness, integrity, patience, compassion, empathizing with others. All of these things, nothing's going to change there. The set is going to change, but the sort of basic, fundamental ways of being that create harmony in the world, I don't see how those are going to change at all. And those are time tested. We've seen these principles work in all kinds of insane moments throughout history. It's always the same thing. It's selflessness that leads to less suffering personally and generally for people around you. So all that stuff. Also, regardless of being able to type into your computer something that you want and having that manifest because nanobots assembled it at the atomic level in your house, it still doesn't change the sense of achievement that you get when you overcome the learning curve. So teaching them one thing that I learned very late in life is the burn that I used to associate with failure was usually me hitting the wall, that if I kept in the face of pure failure, this or that, if I keep attacking whatever it is I'm trying to learn, on the other side of that, you level up. So teaching them not to be afraid of the burn of the frustration when it comes to trying to get better at something. teaching them that, in fact, that means you're getting close to a breakthrough. It doesn't mean you should quit. So I feel like these sort of meta ways of being are always going to work in almost any environment. But as far as like what job they're gonna have or what jobs are even gonna be, I do tell them things like, you guys will probably have robots in your house. I do tell them things like, you guys are probably gonna look back at the fact that we drove our cars ourselves as being insane. Like, most likely you will have self-driving cars. Like, I let them talk to the AI sometimes, and I explain to them what I understand about what it is. I do try to prep them for, like, what's coming so that they have some sense of how all this shit works and where it's going. But we really try to keep them off the screens, and we try to keep them focused on, like, activities that build their confidence and, um, teach them what it feels like to, like, accomplish things on their own. When you putting them on fucking screens, man, paradoxically, that's, like, not a good move these days. Keep them off fucking screens. If I had to give any one parenting advice, that would be it. Minimize screen time as much as you possibly can. Because it like, any time that we have, like, surrendered to the screens because it's easier, oh, dude, like, it's not good. Like, the effect that has is not good, and anytime they're forced to contend with boredom, it's amazing. Like, they end up playing, they invent games, they start making stuff, they start building things, they go outside. So, shit like that. I hope that answers your question.
You got 2 super chats.
Okay. We have a little bit more time too, man. The thing's not until the next one's at 2, so we can run over a little bit. How can I send you fan art, Mr. Duncan? I produced a track sampling midnight gospel music and some of my favorite quotes. Is there a way for him to send a private message or something to me through here? Just send me your email and maybe Josh will remind me to reach out.
Cool.
I'd love to see it.
Let me see. You had one more. Here we go.
Oh, Rick, the Elden Ring movie confirmed. Are you excited about a new movie adaptation of the incredible game? Listen, Rick, I feel the same way about the Elden Ring adaptation that I feel about any great thing. How? I just don't know how you do that. Because Elden Ring is so quiet. And, like, I don't know how you turn that into, like, I try to imagine that world with, like, movie dialogue. Like, it would almost need to be it's such a quiet world. It's so horrifically, ominously lonely and empty and quiet that it eats at you. And also the traditional movie narrative, like, I don't know how they do it. I mean, I think it's a cool world to make a movie in, but I don't think there's any way that you could replicate the game as a movie because the game is forcing you to discover what it is on your own and make your own decisions about what it is. And, how do you do that in a movie? But I'm excited. I'll watch it. I'm excited to play that new Elden Ring game that's out too. I haven't looked at the reviews yet. I'm playing about Baldur's Gate 3 and I'm so into it right now. It's fucking my life up, man. It's fucking my life up.
Nolan Campos has one.
Nolan, thank you so much. Have you ever been to Alaska? It's a beautiful state, not Anchorage. The kiddos would love the wildlife. Nolan, when my mom had cancer, that was one of the places she went to explore, and she fucking loved it. It's beautiful. I'd love to go to Alaska. That's definitely like top of the list places I want to go with the kids. And it's just under Antarctica. I really want to go to Antarctica one day. That's a dream of mine, is to go to Antarctica. But I've read all about it, and it sounds like a nightmare to get to Antarctica. Not Alaska. It's not easy to get to Alaska, but try getting to fucking Antarctica. I think you have to cross the Bering Strait. Just puke ride. It's a puke ride. Boy, I would really love to go to Antarctica. and see some of the ancient castles rising up through the ice. Go to the ice wall, see if I could look over into Hyperborea. Martin is saying, will GTA 6 be the best piece of art capturing how much has the CIA influenced our pop culture? I hope not, man. I mean, I think that I'm wondering if the reason they delayed it by a year is because they realized that in an attempt to assuage culture by making it softer or something, that they were maybe going against the fundamental DNA of the game. And they're having to go back into it and, like, rework it maybe. I mean, I think there was, like, a series of these experiments that were made with video games, and how much, like, what was that video game that just ate shit recently that came out? People are excited about it. There's so many of them. You guys know the one I'm talking about? It was like a Fortnite style game, but the characters were not traditional video game characters. They weren't, like, built according to Western beauty standards. And so, like, some of the characters were, like, had a little weight on them. Some of the characters, you guys know what I'm talking about? I mean, there's been so many versions of games like this where the game creators, in an attempt to push the culture forward. Yeah, Concord. Can you pull up Concord real quick? This fucking game. They spent so much money making this because for some reason they think people like me want to play non-symmetrical people. It's like, dude, I want to play either like a super hot girl or a ripped dude. I'm sorry. It's the one chance I have. Yeah, so Concord came out and this just fucking tanked. There, go to that one. Just pull up the one that says the biggest flop in history. You could just show see that third one down. This one, go down one more. That one. That one.
I play that one.
Yeah.
This video was sponsored by Fabletics.
So
this meant it was basically dead on arrival. But even
yeah, just skip
single-player
ahead. You can
games-
turn the volume down. Just find some frames of it. Fabletics, guys, go to Fabletics. Basically, oh my God, you're not gonna. I guess look up Concord gameplay, or you know what? Look up Concord character selection screen. This was supposed to be like Guardians of the Galaxy. Click on the one in the top, the first choice in all of those right there. You know what I mean? Like, people didn't want to do that. People didn't want to, like, video games are all about, like, first of all, you want the choice. I will be honest, like, when I'm doing in the character creation screen, if I can make my character morbidly obese with a massive fucking nose and crazy hair, I will do that immediately. And then I always regret it later down the line. But, you know, people got pissed off because it's like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, but, like, I don't want to play a fat person in my video game. I don't want to play, like, you know, non-standard people. And then they tried to embed, like, some kind of, like, moral shit in there, I guess. And it's just like, we just are trying to escape the world through video games, most of us. There is a demographic of people who no doubt feel underrepresented, and they're like, why don't I have that option? But unfortunately, when you're making a video game, it costs so much goddamn money to make a game like that you have to appeal to the masses. You can't pick a micro audience out and then you spend a mega budget. It just doesn't work. And all these games ate shit because of that. And great, but there was some kind of demographic out there, some kind of statistic out there that made a lot of these game creators think, I guess, that would work. And then all these, like, trial runs happen, and all these games are in development, and they're like, fuck, stop the presses, dude. We can't do it. We got to make money. We've been working on this for like, what, a decade? We can't release something that's going to be like universally decried. And so I'm guessing, though I've read some sort of disturbing shit about GTA, but I'm just guessing like that whoever is like investing money is like, no, don't do that with this because it loses money. People get mad. For better or for worse, people get mad. Bella Ramsey, everyone's fucking pissed at her, man. Like, for what? She's an actor. But The Last of Us, you know, or whatever the fucking franchise is, like if you decide to use that to try to what you think of as pushing the culture forward, but you go against the structure of the original story and you want to add your flair to it, then you know why, like you end up hoping to get a new fan base and anger an old fan base, and then you know lose money. When we're in capitalism, you got to sell tickets, right? So I don't think I think the new GTA is actually going to be probably less what people are worried about. That's my thinking.
Spacey Gray gave 20 memberships, gift memberships.
Wow! Thank you, Spacey Gray. I didn't even know you could do that. Join up, guys. I don't even know how that works. What do you click on it?
No, all these people received an iron lung.
What's an iron
Joseph,
lung?
These are all the people that received them. They all received gift memberships.
Jeez, welcome aboard, guys. Thank you, Spacey Gray. That is fucking cool. Do that. I love that. Alan Wake 2. I think I played. I didn't like it. No offense. This is my. I didn't like that. I'm a old crust when it comes to games, man. But Jesus, Baldur's Gate 3 is like blowing my fucking mind. Like I started playing it, then I fell off, and then I started again, and like the new like upgraded version of it is just fucking crazy. If you guys are into Dungeons and Dragons or like, it's so good and so absorbing, and it's bad. Like the worst thing that could happen to me is enjoying a game. Another one, Drew Bartlett. Yes. Spread them around, man. Thank you. This is exciting. All right. Whoa. Thank you very much. Well, I'm having Ragu on in a second, friends, for a podcast. It won't be live, though, so I got to get ready for that in a second. But Duncan, I've become addicted to not working out and eating frozen pizzas. Please give me your blessing to get back on track for the sake of seeing my 2 cats graduate and walk them down the aisle. Look, I'm going to align with you there, friend. I was on such a good gym routine.
It's going back. There we go. We're back.
Hey, froze up. Listen, to answer your question, I don't know if you heard me read the question. A dear friend is asking to give them. They want me to get them back into a healthy lifestyle, and I'll do one better. If you'll do it, I'll do it. I've been wanting to get back out there, get back to the gym. My fucking back is hurting. I'm starting to experience all the things when I don't exercise that happens to a 50-year-old body. And, you know, the main thing is don't beat yourself up for this pause in between. Look at the pause in between as part of the process. That's the only choice you have. Instead of seeing it as failure, see it as this is actually part of the process. And the thing that differentiates the people that you see who have managed the assholes jogging at 5 a.m. or the people who like glistening with sweat, there's tan skin rippling in the Texas sun as they effortlessly gallop down the street in 105-degree weather, glowing, emanating a kind of mystical energy. What's the difference between them and us? And I think the difference is that they just, even in moments when they stopped, they just started doing it again. That's it. And don't wait for permission from your fucking brain to start exercising. Your brain is never going to say, okay, today's the day. It might once a year. There might be one moment where you just have the exact right biochemicals floating in your brain, the right mixture of hormones. Who knows? And you're like, this is the day. But I've noticed that if I go full robotic and just don't listen to what my brain has to say, which is almost always like, let's just play Baldur's Gate or whatever my thing is. We'll draw. Wouldn't you rather work on some art? If I just don't listen to that, I don't shut it up. I just let it say whatever the fuck it has to say all the way to the gym. While I'm working out, I let it just say, we can stop now. And you kind of worked out and all the way through the workout. And then what inevitably happens is I'm driving away from the gym. I feel so good. And the stuff that I make is better because I'm happier. So I will do it if you'll do it. So tell me you're going to do it. Give me permission and I'll get back out there. Someone already told me I look like a goddamn skeleton up here. Look at me. Look how fucking emaciated. I'm bad thin. I don't want to be bad thin. I want to be good thin. I want to be ripped. I want to have a chin. I want to grow a chin. I would love a chin. Okay, Adam Dev is saying eat a steak and pound olive oil. Okay. The problem is, this is the problem with this fucking Ozempic shit, you guys. Is like, it's like the appetite really goes out the window. I don't like it, but it's so comforting when you check your blood sugar and it's normal. It's so scary when your blood sugar is like penduluming from like after you sleep. You've got like high blood sugar and then like just for no reason at all, it gets higher and then it's scary, man. It could kill you. So like, I guess I'm going to pick Wraith like fucking thin over like stroking out. Though I've read some creepy shit about Ozempic, which scares me like your eyeballs could rot out of your head. Thanks, God. Let's see. Adam is saying metformin apparently makes diabetics live longer than non-diabetics. I've any of this stuff, when I got on metformin, people out of the blue were like, stop taking it. It killed my uncle. And get on Ozempic, people are like, it's going to make your eyes rot out of your head. What I'm hoping is that if I can like keep this is what's more boring than a 50-year-old fucking ending their podcast talking about diabetes. Is there anything worse? It would be better for me to like pull a cat carcass out from under the desk and just start slamming it into the table while I loudly farted than for me to talk about my diet. I remember being around my parents when they got old and hearing them ramble about their fucking health shit. You're like, shut up. Shut up. They would either talk about their health issues or they talk about who died. That was the conversation. Jerry died. Jerry just keeled over on the dock. My thyroid's about to explode. And you're just like, oh, is this what happens when you get old? Alfredo Cruz, I just had a job interview. Fingers crossed. I heard some good news. Yeah, what's the job, Alfredo? Congratulations. Oh, University wants to know if I would like to make a real-life Mirage in Black Rock City and melt the minds of the dust people. You know I would. But I'm not going to be a Burning Man anytime soon, unfortunately. I'll be back there when I'm real old. I'll be back there when I got a fucking dust walker. Drew is saying that the mayor of his town found out I want to blow up the fucking pyramids, and he's a big pyramid fan. And he's telling everyone to refer to you exclusive as what? Dumbkin Bunswell. Fuck him. Tell him that's hurtful. I hate that. Please don't call me that, Mayor. Fuck you, too. I'm going to blow up the pyramids. We all are. The esoteric one is saying, You get endorphins after after you're done because your brain thinks you got done fighting with a bear. I know. It's the best. I mean, it's the ultimate reset. If you need a reset in your life, it's just, if you want a reminder, whatever your intellectual bullshit is and all the reasons that you're miserable and you're like, oh, my dad was an asshole and I can't believe the state of the fucking world. And oh my God, the systemic inequality, the rise of fascism in the world or the rise of communism or whatever got your fucking nips twitching. Go jog and drink water and then you feel good. And it's like, oh, I guess I was just like a dog that hadn't been walked enough. I guess that's all being human is. I guess all the reasons that I thought for why I was miserable were actually because I didn't exercise or drink enough water. That's God just wants us to be meatheads. That's it. The Lord just wants us exercising, fucking, and drinking water. That's it. All the other stuff is like a secondary consideration. All right, one more of these things. Then I get ready. I gotta get ready for what? Spacey Gray. I hereby dub you the official benefactor of the DTFH. My God, handing out memberships left and right, growing the family, getting us one step closer to the final destruction of Mr. Beast's empire. My kids love him. I'm jealous. I am jealous. They want me to arrange a meeting with Mr. Beast. It's like, I don't know how to explain to them that we are like essentially opposites, matter and antimatter. I'm the thing under the ground he hears at night, thinks it's a giant balding mole under his mansion, but it's me burrowing down there, ready to burst through the first floor of his 20-story celestial skyscraper. Jesus Christ, the generosity. 5 family hour memberships given out. Pretty soon, everyone here will have a membership now. Spacey Gray, what is this? What'd you just inherit a bunch of money? How much do they cost?
I think $5 a piece.
Are you fucking kidding me, Spacey Gray? Thank you. I don't know who you are. God, maybe it's Elon Musk. That's Elon Musk. I'm positive because think about it. Spacey Gray kind of sounds like a Musk name. I don't want to go. I got to go. 139. I got to send this Riverside link to Raghu. He's probably already thinks I've forgotten. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining us for a live DTFH. I don't want to seem like a dick, but I think I'm just going to start posting these only on YouTube, not on audio, because I don't think it would be fun to listen to this. I think you kind of have to see it for it to make sense. I'm showing components and stuff. So I think I'm going to just do interviews on the audio side, and this will just be solely for YouTube. And I've even been kicking around the idea of making a completely different podcast that's exactly this, that isn't the DTFH, but I don't know if that's even necessary. But we can talk about it next week. Look, I'll leave you with one last video. Josh, can you show the last AI video I sent you?
Mm-hmm.
This is the final video I made. I didn't read any of the shitty comments on Instagram, but you can go and look on my Instagram account. But this, after realizing I had infuriated so many people with the Charlie Kirk parody video, this is what I made in response. And let me just say this, it just popped into my head. I don't know how you can get it to me is the problem. But if you guys make some cool VO AI and there's a way I can look at it in advance, I would love to show some of your work on the next podcast. But it's got to be cool and funny and interesting. No, like unlike the stuff I made. All right, show them this.
Stop saying squirt is pee.
Their chemical composition is identical.
AI must be stopped. That should do it. Now for a relaxing jam bath.
You might think this is jam, but it's actually lab-grown placenta.
This is what I looked like before I started taking my special baths. You see?
I'm from the future, and in the future, the only thing left to eat and bathe in is lab-grown placenta, all thanks to AI.
We discovered that lab-grown placenta doesn't just reverse the aging process, and it actually creates wormholes that connect with the past.
Now that I posted my comment, my work is done here.
This wormhole will take me to the past, where I'll post another comment about how AI is bad. Woo! All in a day's work for a time traveler, and please stop using AI.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to make many more of these. Oh, Julio's saying impressive fluid dynamics. The sound design. That was it. It made the right sound for a fucking time traveler sliding through placenta. Like that alone is crazy. The sound is crazy. But I am sorry for showing that to you. Make some stuff, huh? You know, as a collective, we could make some really great shit. And if you guys actually made something like somebody made something super, I don't know what you call the stuff I've been making, but something that sort of lines up with that I could post on my gram. Man, that would be really funny. Because I'm going to keep making these things, and I don't see any reason why we can't make some together. But we'll talk about it more next week. Until then, Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining us for a live DTFH. May God be with you. Stop using AI.